Hello, good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to Barcelona Expat Week. I'm Gaëlle Patin-Lalloy from Casa Asia, and I will be moderating now this meet and share session with fantastic Asian women entrepreneurs. So I won't present them because I asked them to present themselves quite thoroughly. So we have 4 women here. Shreya, who will speak first, from India, Mihi Seo from Korea, Vaishali Dasgupta from India also, and Xu Lingling from China, all from different sectors. So they will share their experience, and right before starting, I really want to encourage you to write your questions in the chat, because this session will be more interesting if we have questions from you, and we can adapt the content. We also kept the questions from the website, and we will answer them also. So please feel free to participate in the chat. First, I will give the virtual floor to Shreya. Please, Shreya, could you present yourself? And then we will move on to other themes with the other speakers too. So just present yourself. Where do you come from? Your professional background, studies, etc.
Yes, thank you so much, Gaëlle. Lovely to be a part of this, and with a very interesting woman, and with every other person who's participating right now. So yes, my name is Shreya. Makes life very difficult to have a name so complicated. That is the first barrier neck we have here in Barcelona or in Spain or in Europe. But having to overcome just the name, things get way easier, I think. So I come from Calcutta, from the city of Tagore, from the city of Mother Teresa. I came here in Spain as a student, and then I'm a chemical engineer as well as a dance practitioner. I've had 2 parallel careers in my life. So I do come from the corporate world, and having passed through that, I've entered the cultural sector. And it's been not a very long journey. I have established a cultural center and a dance school in Barcelona city. And I have my own dance company as well. So that's basically it, a journey from the corporate to the culture, which is where my focus of today's talk is going to be all about. So thank you. And I'm really looking forward to listen to the rest of the panelists today. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. Please, Michi, can you present yourself also? Where do you come from, and your studies and professional background? Thank you.
Hello, guys. My name is Mihi Seo. I'm from South Korea, the city of Seoul. My background is consulting. I'm from consulting sector. I run my own company. I'm a CEO of Oasta Consulting. We connect South Korea and Spain in the sector of marketing, trade, and investment. And before coming to Barcelona, I used to work in Samsung Electronics in the business strategy team. The same work, consulting, strategy, investment. That was my work back in South Korea, and here with my own company, I'm still doing the same job here.
Thank you. Great. Vaishali, can you present yourself now, please?
Hi, I'm Vaishali Dasgupta. I am from India, just like Shreya. I am the director of the Grupo Restauración Bembi, basically, which is a group of restaurants. We've got 4 restaurants here, Bembi, Rangoli, Muma Tropical, which is in Ibiza, and a little baby called Little Andaman right now. My experiences in the hospitality sector. I have worked with Taj Group of Hotels for about 15 years, and then moved on to London and worked there. So have a mixed experience of India and international chains. And then coming on a holiday to Barcelona, I decided to look into to bringing India to Barcelona. What I saw in Barcelona was very different, and it's where I am now. My involvement from hospitality sector came in much later, but I'm here to share the story much later. So I'll pass on the mic to our 4th speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishali. Usually we decide to stay in the city because we fall in love with someone from the city, not because we want to introduce the country's culture too, but it's a great story. I'm just trying to relax ourselves. The last speaker, Ling Ling, Shui Ling Ling, can you present yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. Nice to meet you all here. I am Ling Ling Xu, co-founder of Ling China Translation and Consulting. I've always thought of translation as a bridge between China and Spain. And for me, at the beginning, it was my hobby. And then it was a way to make a living. But now, although I don't rely on translation to maintain myself anymore, I think I will continue to translate, no matter how trivial it is. I came to Barcelona in the year 2003, and since I was studying Spanish in Shanghai International Study University, SISU in Shanghai, I was able to integrate into the local life very quickly. At that time, there was about 20,000 Chinese in Spain, and mainly concentrated in Madrid and Barcelona, then in restaurant, wholesale, and the small commodity business in general, and they are engaged in this monotonous, marginal, and hard industry. And I think I was clear that that was no space for me. But Spanish is my second language. And as soon as I came to Barcelona, I was full of curiosity. And just like a sponge, I tried to learn as much as possible about Spanish society. And I find my strength, which is language. So I founded Link China's Translation.
Thank you very much, Ling Ling. It's interesting because we have consulting sector, restoration and hospitality. We have cultural sector. I'm really happy we have this. And we also have another kind of consulting and translation, languages, etc. Ling Ling is also very much involved with the Chinese communities associations in Spain. Now we will see why, when you already mentioned a little bit why you came to Barcelona. If you didn't, please explain. And also, why did you present your company, the history of your company? How did you get the idea? When did you create it? What kind of company it is, etc. And also, so that I don't have to take the mic again, did you encounter any difficulties at the beginning when you created it? What kind of support you got? What kind of partners? Well, no, many questions. If I'm curious, I will ask more. And if the public is curious, they also will ask questions in the chat. We will do the same round. Shreya, can you start, please?
Oh, so yes, my reason to move to Barcelona wasn't very romantic either. It was more of a family obligation, so I had to move because my partner had to move because of work. I was back then working in the corporate world. As I was saying, that my journey has been from the corporate to the culture. And it's a very important topic I want to throw light upon today, is the fact that we always see these two topics, corporate world and cultural world, as sort of really apart from each other and almost enemies to each other, because I feel the cultural world is always complaining corporate should support us more and corporate world doesn't care about the cultural world. But I just, my take on this is, that my vision on this is that I think culture and corporate, they cannot do without each other. I mean, for a country like Spain to really understand, to really go into a sort of a business engagement with India, to go into some sort of a bilateral relationship with India and a very good, strong strategic business relationship, I think the first thing that gets attracted is the soft power that India has to offer to the world. And I think that soft power has to be really established and brought out and pushed through culture, through cultural schools and centers like what we run, with the help of the Indian Embassy and Ministry of Indian Culture, etc. And that is where Spain will be drawn to India, and there will be more business relationship between the two countries, which is currently lacking. So I think culture is a very, very important pillar, very, very important base for two countries to come together and really work strategically. And this is why I don't see them apart from each other. And also from the cultural sector, for business people to come and invest in culture as dancers, as dance practitioners, as dance educators, I think the question we must ask is, what is in there for them? and we need to work a little bit in that line. So when we have a product, we have a project, the business world should also have some interest. They're saying, okay, I want to invest in this project, cultural project, because this will give me a better market to get some, to get some, cover some more market quota. So I think both worlds should come together and think on this together. One cannot live without another. And this is where my cultural center deals with. We are not only dealing with culture in Barcelona. I mean, we're focused on Indian culture propagation, no doubt about it, but we're very much keen to work with the corporate world in order to make this a bilateral relationship between Spain and India really function.
So thank you, Shreya. You spoke more about the objectives of your company. So we can just repeat that culture is going to be an important aspect and a pillar of all this recovery everybody is speaking about now. And if you want to enter into some businesses and become an entrepreneur, etc., the cultural sector is, of course, also a very valuable sector, and we have to reconciliate a little bit the corporate world and the cultural world. We will hear now what Mihi can explain about her company, why did she create it, and how did it happen, etc.
The company slogan is simply "We make it." In my whole life, I'm such a big fan of strategies in the company or strategies for the personal life. I believe in this so much. Yeah. So my career started from university. Major was business and psychology, and also I obtained USCPA certificate during my study, and after I joined one consulting company, and after Samsung Electronics in the same line, consulting things, strategies. And when I had settled, safety in my life, having house, having nice boyfriend, having a car, when everything was safe and settled down, I decided to study abroad in Barcelona for one master. That was my beginning, the beginning of my journey here. It was 10 years back already, yeah. It was 1 year break from the company, yeah. So I supposed to be back in the year 2011, but no, I'm still here, yeah. We are in 2020, 10 years after, I'm still here and in the same line. The location is different, the culture is different, but still I'm in the same line, yeah. We're gonna talk more later, but I believe what you are believing in, what you do, changing the location can give you more opportunities. Yeah, that's what I think, and that's what I do. Yeah, and regarding the difficulties, when I started, I created my company back in 2012. My Spanish was nothing, literally nothing. I could say hello, how are you, nothing else. Wow, there are so many documents that I had to submit, and I had nobody who could help. So it took me 6 months to create to register my company to the city council. Took 6 months. I had to go to Barcelona Activa, then after another government party, then another association, lawyer, and in the end it took me 6 months. Yeah, but in the end, the party that helped me the most was Barcelona Activa. Yeah. And the problem that I had was the language, and also the little part of the culture distance as well. Yeah, but the main part was language. So in the beginning of my journey, my professional journey, the most of clients, they were English speakers. Yeah, back in 2012 until 2015 or 16, most of client companies, they were European companies having offices in Barcelona, like Dutch, Dutch, German, British, or French, Italian, yeah, and the language, like for instance, contract, all I signed on until 2015 English. Then after 2015, 16, when I got to speak, yeah, when I could manage my Spanish for work, Now I can say, as of today, 100% of my client, our client, they are Spanish or Catalan. Yeah, they're changing. Yeah, there is a big change. And another thing is in me, yeah, my personal opinion regarding doing business in Spain or Barcelona, networking is so important. I think back in 2012 or 13, I didn't know anybody who really could help the business part. Yeah, it was difficult. Yeah, it took 6 months because I didn't know anybody who could help me. I had friends, but they were not entrepreneurs. They didn't know how to. I mean, even they are local, but they didn't know how to create the company. Yeah, so it took me 6 months. But now, if I have wide network, if I come back to 2012, it's not gonna take 6 months. Yeah, here I think the language and also the having network like through this kind of events, yeah, international community sessions, it really can help. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mihi. I see Barcelona Activa was very useful for you, so I'm sure many future entrepreneurs can see the services they offer. And you mentioned the language. I think it's a barrier for everybody. And once you, but still Barcelona is a global city, so that's why you could start your business with mainly international clients, and this is interesting. And now we see the big evolution, no? That now you have Spanish and Catalan clients, and the importance of networking also. And we will speak later about the cultural differences between Asia and Spain. But it's interesting. And yesterday I attended the Shepreneur session, and everybody was speaking about a journey, that entrepreneurship is a journey. So you had quite a lonely journey in your case. Some people really have support, but you fought, and it took you 6 months. It's quite impressive. So now we can listen to Vaishali. And please, while Vaishali is speaking, can you put her video with no sound so that we can picture a little bit her company? Vaishali, you explain how you created the company, what kind of partners you had, and what kind of difficulties, and how did you solve them? Thank you.
Okay, so should we see the video first and then get on to this? So this is Grupo Bembi, and this is a short video of the restaurants that we have. This is Bembi. We need to put on the music actually.
Ah, okay. I thought you were going to speak while the video is on. Can you put the sound, please? Or it's just 1 minute. It's on, the sound is on, but we cannot listen to it. If you want, please explain. The pictures are very nice and we can notice.
Here we go. Get hungry.
Thank you. So, yeah,
so these are the two restaurants that we started with. Bembi is our first restaurant, Rangoli is our second. But my story is slightly different. I have come into Grupo Bembi from 2015. It was initially founded by my husband and my brother and contacts. The idea came up. The Bembi story actually is on the link that has been provided on the chat. My involvement is basically, when I moved out from India into London, I stayed there for 4 years, and I came here on holiday with my kids in about 2002, way back. Um, and after having 5, 6 days of tapas, we were here for about a week. And having tapas, after a couple of days, you had that Indianness in you saying that I want my Indian curry. It's something like a Spanish person going to India and having curries all the way, and after a while says, "Oh, I want my pan con tomate in jamón y bocadillo." Okay, so that was that craving that happened. The story started like this: that we went to an Indian restaurant, the only Indian restaurant way back then in Barcelona, and sitting there, we saw that okay, the place was full, and ambience was not so great, but it was satisfying people. But when the food came here, being hospitality professionals, we saw that everything that we were eating tasted the same, almost the same, maybe modified in a different color, and a little bit of cream on top. And we, my husband and I, being hospitality professionals, we thought that this was an insult to Indian food. And that's when we decided that no, we need to look into something else. We need to bring authentic Indian food to Barcelona. The idea went in there, but after the holiday, we went back to London, and we were working in our usual lives, and we forgot all about it. Fast forward about 3, 4 years later, my husband actually moved out from London to Barcelona, and decided to to take on the entrepreneur rug. Basically, he started with the concept of Bambi, and I came in 2007 with 2 little kids. Within a week, I was very excited about coming down, basically because this is from London to Barcelona, big city, the sun, the sand, the beaches. This is what was all talked about in London. And within about 2 or 3 days, I realized that, okay, nobody speaks English here. So the language was not a barrier for me. Language initially said that, yes, I am a barrier. I can't speak English, I can't speak Spanish, but let's go ahead and understand what it's all about. And the challenge was integrating into the society, picking up the language as fast as possible. Somebody said, drink 2 glasses of wine and you speak Spanish fluently. And I actually did that. And I picked up some words which helped me, break the ice between people. I didn't know many words, but I related certain words. So, for instance, somebody said cerveza, and somebody said cerveza in the market. I said, okay, these words sound similar. Sangria and sangre, for instance, sounded very, very similar to me. I remember going to a bar and saying, I want sangre. And the person turned around and said, are you Dracula? No, no. But it was something where I picked up these words, I related, and I taught myself. But at the same time, I was empathizing with people, and they were empathizing with me. I would say Barcelona, I did not feel any challenges. I did not face any problems integrating with people. Firstly, because I was open to it. I was willing to integrate into a society. I was willing to accept that, I didn't know the language, but I was willing to share my experience, and bring something to the table. So I had decided that I would not be into the hospitality field. I got into a conference sector. Uh, and I started my own company, which was to do with human resources. Okay, so I organized my own program. I organized my conferences with HR directors, and slowly from there, in 2015, when my husband decided to open a restaurant in Ibiza, I was brought back into the hotel industry, the restaurant industry, basically because I had the experience back then. I did not get into the hotel in the restaurant chain with my husband, because I didn't want fights back at home again, and we would talk about the same things. So that is how it was for me. And I would say that anything that helps over here, Barcelona Activa has been very helpful to not only to establish ourselves, but at the same time pick up contacts. So that was my journey.
It's very interesting, and the person who recommended us to you to us for this participation already told us that you had a great journey to tell us. Now I will ask all of you something about because it's also one of the questions among the public about the cultural differences between the Asia or the country you come from, and the way to become the managing style here in Spain, in Barcelona, or in Asia, or when doing business, the differences, cultural differences. But Shreya, maybe before you speak about this, maybe we can see an example of the kind of cultural bridge, artistic bridge you are creating, because it's also one of the important aspects. So we can see a very short example of the video you sent us. And please feel free also to speak about the gender perspective while you speak also about the intercultural issues here. And then we will pass on to the questions from the public, because there are several very interesting questions I can see. Thank you. Shreya, do you want...
Yes, I'd like the host to please put the video on for like a minute and a half or so. This video will summarize a lot of the work that I do and the vision I share. I will explain to you about the video once it's done, once it's over. If you can have the sound on, that'll be great. I think that should be enough. Thank you.
Do you want to speak, Shreya?
Thank you very much for allowing me to share this video with you, because this in a way summarizes the next topic which Gail has raised, which is about the cultural differences we face. Of course, there are differences. And what I perform here is I'm bringing in my Indian dance language to a traditional Spanish piece called the Farruca. This was performed in Mercat de Flor under the banner of Sol Pico Dance Company. This sort of simplifies a very vast topic of cultural differences. So definitely we have faced cultural differences while I'm here. Even every day-to-day life I face cultural differences, but the focus here is not in the difference, but the focus here is how we connect to the differences, leverage it actually. I think if I'm talking about Spain and India, there are a lot of cultural similarities as well. We're very loud people. We love food. And when it comes to differences, whatever differences is, I think it's very like a lock and key mechanism. The only part where I would see that I feel a little, probably in the work culture difference, I feel a little, I feel the Spanish culture in a way, the Spain corporate or the work culture probably goes a little slower or a little more laid back. I'm trying to be very diplomatic here, a little more laid back. And probably India is always in a haste. I think Asia is in a haste. Asia has to prove itself. Asia is still developing. Asia has to grow up the growth curve. So we are in a rat race. And when that rat race approach comes in Spain, everybody tells you, calmate, take it easy. And you're like, I don't want to hear that word, you know, I don't have time. So that is the job area which I work on a lot. But also I would like you to focus on a little thing here. I work with dance. I work with Indian classical dance, which is maybe similar to learning karate or similar to learning martial art, you know. In what way? In the discipline and the rigor. Now, this is again another issue, because also I feel culturally Asian people are very used to working hard and doing things. We are from a very strict background, family backgrounds. Our parents push us a lot. We are sort of brought up like that, and that's another cultural difference I feel here. People they don't want to probably not push themselves so much, you know, in particularly this particular generation. So we have a conflict there. I have a conflict there which I must overcome and sort of modulate it a little bit so I can manage to work here. So otherwise I wouldn't say Spain and India faces that many cultural difference. I come from personally a very global cultural aspects of my life. I was brought up in India, but I was born in India, I was brought up in Africa. I studied in the United States, I studied in UK, I studied in Spain. So I have a very different personal world culture. Therefore, I don't see the cultural gap between Spanish people and Indian people or myself so much, but work culture, yes. And when it comes to gender, Gael, as I said, I come from a corporate world in industrial engineering, which is very much a man's world. I have headed a company with a lot of men under me. But I really would say it has I can't say that it has ever been a discriminatory. Quite a contrary to that. I was always chosen because I was the only woman. Because they knew that if I go to Airbus and sell a project, they will remember me. It was like a positive discrimination, let's put it this way. I was always used because I was a brown face amidst the whites. 10 years back, there were not that many brown people in an engineering world, even if I doubt how many of them are there today. A woman who could speak different languages. So the discrimination was existing, but in favor to women and quite a contradictory to men. So I have always had a ball in my life in Spain for being a woman, and I continue to do so. Even now, today we are establishing culture. I'm probably the only cultural center who is thinking in collateral relationship between Spain and India, and not just dance as a part of culture, but many other aspects of culture. And therefore, again, it's always added to my advantage. Being a woman has always added to my advantage, so I can't complain there.
So we can speak about positive discrimination. No? The contrary, it's a good time for maybe. Thank you, Shreya. It's very interesting. I wanted to say that you mentioned before that the corporate world and cultural world need to go hand in hand and help each other, etc. But you have both worlds inside you. So you are a special case, I think. I'm not sure all the artists also have this corporate aspect, and it's a problem often for artists or for people from the arts field to become an entrepreneur. Let's continue with Michi. Michi, please, can you comment about these topics?
Regarding the cultural distance, what I would like to say, what I'm satisfied the most about Barcelona or Spanish business culture is they never judge you before they know you. They don't judge you. They have so much curiosity. So if you bring the proposal, they're gonna listen to you before telling you you are white, you are black, you're from Asia, or you're a woman, you are young, you are old. Like, they are not gonna be curious on these factors first. They're gonna listen to you first, listen to your proposal first, and once they got to know you, then they're gonna judge you because they know you. But by outlook, by looking your face or your physical appearance or your background, they are not gonna judge you first. That's what I love this city, this country, and that's what I appreciate the most. Yeah. So that is something that I love the most, and that I wanted something to share with you guys. And regarding the business culture, like she mentioned, sorry, yeah.
Give it a try.
I'm trying. Yeah, one day I can make it. Yeah, here the speed is slow. Yeah, slower than Asian speed. Yeah, and also punctuality is different. Yeah, like for instance, when I started to do business here, in Korean culture, entering the meeting, yeah, we wait outside of the building 10 minutes before, yeah, which means we arrive like 10 or 15 minutes before, and we ring the door 5 minutes before, and we enter the meeting on time, yeah. Here, normally starting 10 minutes after or 15 minutes after, and once I had an experience of waiting for my client in my office 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. Yeah, I waited 4 hours, but it was fine because the meeting was held in my office. Yeah, so 4 hours I could do other things. Yeah, so that is that is the different thing. And now I have difficulty here because also I'm arriving late. Yeah, I'm getting used to, and I'm arriving 10 or 15 minutes late, and like every time when I got some place like 10 minutes late, and I feel like, oh, I'm becoming Spanish. Yeah, that's what I'm making. That's what I but here I can see another positive factor. Here the speed is slower, but here people are more flexible, let's say. So if, like, let's say in Asia, if your client or if your collaborator does make some error, there, no, boom, boom, nothing else, like is like punishment right away. Yeah, here, no, I mean, every culture is like, everything has positive factor because it has negative factor, or we can say in the other way around, it has negative factor because it has positive factor. Yeah, here people are more, let's say, relaxed, yeah, and more flexible. So if I make mistake, then they understand too. Yeah, but you need to explain. Yeah, you need to explain, and you need to get to improve. Yeah, you need to get improved, but still here people have more space. Yeah, so we can build together. Yeah, it's not like somebody is ordering and the other party is following. No, here is like equal. Yeah, flexible. They have space to listen to you. Yeah, but here, if you want to use it, if you want to use this factor, you need to understand the culture first. Yeah, there's a thing. Yeah. Regarding gender, I have many things to say. Yeah. Shall I mention now, Gael, or shall I
No,
say
if you
later?
want, say something when quite quickly, because we have
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Same as like our artist, the name.
Freya.
I'm gonna
Trying to escape from pronouncing my name again. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I believe there is a glass ceiling, that no doubt. Yeah. So if you can break the glass ceiling, then like she does, yeah. Also, I feel like I'm such a fortune to be a woman because I'm above the glass ceiling. Yeah, but still, if you to reach there, you need to know where you are and what you do. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, if you believe in what you do, then you can be fine. Yeah, but still, you need to go through the glass ceiling, because I believe the glass ceiling was made by experience by other women in the past. Yeah, it can be something from culture, but what I believe is that person or the society had the experience from the past. Yeah, so that made glass ceiling, and our role is go through the glass ceiling, because in the end there are so many benefits that you can enjoy in the end, like she said before. Yeah, like our artist said before. Yeah, I believe in that as well. Yeah. What I do, yeah, some advice that I can give you, our attendees today, yeah, like to our audience today. If you believe in something, if you believe in what you do is right, then just do. Yeah, if somebody says something wrong, then you ignore and you do it. Like one example was back in 2013. It was with one of our Dutch client company. I was surrounded by 6 or 7 men board of members, yeah, I was presenting the proposal, and one guy raised the hands and said, like, yeah, I was in the middle of my presentation, and he said, look, me is woman, me is from Asia, so we are not gonna give her the project because she's a woman and she's from Asia. That's what he said, yeah. And what I did was I kept I said like, okay, that's your opinion, and can I keep my presentation? And I did, and I made it. Yeah, I made it in the end. Yeah. So what I believe is this. Yeah. I mean, if you believe in what you do, and if you believe in you, fine. Yeah. But still, like she said before, there is a glass ceiling. So if you go through, then you can benefit so many things. But if you stop here, then you're gonna say it's not fair. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much. It's very interesting. I won't comment because we don't have so much time, but that was great to listen to this. It's like the club where you have to enter, and once you are in, you are fine. But to reach this level, it's not easy, and maybe we have to help each other on this issue. And also, yes, when you spoke about here everything, well, we are sure that it's an open city. Barcelona is an open city, and when you spoke about like the speed of everything, it's slow. It's like slow food, no, the new slow food. Yesterday I read something about slow theater, so maybe it's also positive. Bueno, what you said was very interesting. Please, Vaishali, can you comment on this, and then Ling Ling, and then we will
Yes.
see the questions quickly because we have little time less. Thank you.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute, please. Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah. So I wanted to say I'm actually going to say for me, there have been questions saying that have you had the discrimination in the past, gender discrimination? I would say it has been really positive. What Shreya said and what Mihi said, okay. Um, I have I have faced challenges in the past, but in a positive way. So people have come up to me and initially said, okay, you've got two daughters. They're slightly brownish. And I said, yeah, but in your country, people want to sit out in the sun and, tan themselves and become brown like us. So are you being jealous about this? So that was one turnaround for me. It has been for years that, it's the conventional wisdom that men take more risks, but it's the other way around. I have felt that, we as women take more risks. We are more outgoing, we are more enterprising, and we don't care. I think we think at the moment and we do it. We are not laid back in our attitude. Okay. For instance, women would not invest in large pots of money for something, not knowing, but properly they'll be experimental in buying flights or investing in a little room in a lesser known hotel. So we are more risk takers, I feel. As far as culturally concerned, I also feel that I have come from India, I have worked in London, and I have come to Barcelona. So I have seen the difference in work cultures in these three countries. In India, we as children are very competitive. Our parents have always been, like, do this on time. You have to be first in class, or you have to, get the best of marks. You have to get your accolades. You have to be really good in everything that you do, and there is a time limit for that. If and you are in the race, everybody's in the race, okay, and the person who deals with that pressure comes out. Okay, there are other people who do not deal with the pressure properly and then go into depression or whatever. So that's a different topic altogether. But yes, coming to Spain, my first experience in Spain, also in the first week, I went to open a bank account and the appointment was at 11:30 in the morning. I'm just saying this so that you understand where it's coming from. I went there with my children, not knowing Spanish. I was told that don't worry, it'll all be done. It's okay, be there on time. I was there at about 11:15 for an 11:30 appointment. 11:30, the person comes up to me and says, please sit down. I'm just coming, having a coffee and coming. The person went out to have breakfast. Okay. And I was like appalled. I was like, what? And that person came back half an hour later. So I said that's not good. So that was my first learning. It is laid back, But at the same time, I would say it gets in, you integrate into that society, and then it becomes a comfort factor for you. So
Okay.
you quickly learn on what is there. Um, and I think that's a lot of patience that is needed in this place. Okay. At the same time, I would say that the discrimination has been positive for women, because Barcelona Active, as well as other cultural associations, other chambers of commerce, have always been promoting, have been very active in promoting women to do things. So I don't see that as a impeding factor.
Okay. Thank you, Vaishali. We
Yeah.
have very little time left. So, Ling Ling, can you comment
Okay.
also on this issue? And then we will try to answer to as most questions as possible. But some of them were already partly answered. Ling Ling.
Okay. Okay. And I think the difference of culture and the language are not always negative. Sometimes they make the word more colorful than the literature. And I could also say that thanks to this gap, I founded my company to serve as bridge between the two countries. And the time flies. I have experienced the rapid development of interaction between China and Spain in the last 20 years. And I myself have grown from the new university graduate to a mother whose son is about to select university. And I think I am very lucky to set up the company in the right time. It's also advice that I will give to the entrepreneur. The timing is very important. And Chinese investment in Spain, which was insignificant in the year 2000, have exceeded 4 billion euros between 2015 and 2018. And the number of Chinese in Spain has risen from 20,000 to 200,000. And the industries that they involve have also been diversified. So in the beginning, our clients were particulars who needed to translate a birth certificate, for example. And later, under the big trend of interaction between Spain and China, our business scope expanded rapidly. And we have had opportunities to offer services for national leaders, ministers, Nobel Prize winner, top sport IP like Barca, Messi, international merge and acquisitions, which involve hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. So in one hand, our translation company has become a necessity for Chinese community in Spain. On the other hand, we also help Spanish companies or individuals who want to go to faraway China to develop their business. Of course, I receive help from the local society. I receive a scholarship from Barcelona Chamber of Commerce. So I studied the business school of Pompeu Fabra, and which opened my eyes in the business world. And I also received, and the Barcelona Activa also helped us as a client. We translate Barcelona dataset to Chinese, and which was adored by Chinese investors. And later on, after several years of working, I did EMBA in ESA Business School. So passion, lifelong learning, and feeling the trend of the time are all very important for entrepreneurship. So I think,
yes.
Yeah.
No,
And I think,
go on.
yeah, I think there is a question about the difference between the business side between China, Asia or China and here. If you permit, I can contribute. Yeah, okay.
The question will be answered.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because in China, the nature of small, medium, and large enterprises is very different. So the way of doing business is also very different. When a foreigner entering an unfamiliar region, they always have to pay some tuition fees. And the same goes for Spaniards doing business in China. And I think it is recommended to look for talent who are familiar with the local situation. Rather than going in on your own and paying tuition, it's better to hire a person who dominates the local business, paying them a good salary. And I think with the increasing number of second generation Chinese students coming to study in Spain and the investors with golden visa, there will be more and more people who are familiar with both Chinese and Spanish situation. They all can contribute to the interaction between China and Spain.
Thank you very much, Ling Ling. Now I'm going to try to have you answer the questions from the public. One of them was about discrimination, but I think you all already answered this question, that you are lucky. I think you didn't suffer too much from discrimination. I think it's not the case of everybody, of course, but it depends on the circumstances. And several persons also ask, in the case of Korea, but also in some other cases, when you don't speak the language, how can you start building your network in Barcelona? What kind of platforms, activities, how can you start to build a network? So anyone can, please, you don't have the four of you to answer all the questions, but please feel free to ask her.
Well,
yes.
I didn't know the language when I came here. So, but I went out, met people, and then said that, okay, you don't know English, I don't know Spanish, let me talk in Spanish, you correct me, and you speak back in English. And then we used to correct each other. So this is how we started. And then while you're in the city, try and adapt to the city, listen to the words, listen to the people talking. It could be from, my learnings were from the portero, for instance.
And drink wine.
And drink wine. 2 glasses of wine makes it easier. Just flows.
You have a special language learning method.
And now, yeah, and having said that, I made sure that the kids picked up all the languages together, and they speak 7 languages, which are all different.
We also had this special question for Mihi. Could you give some advice for a Korean who wants to move into Barcelona?
Okay. Before moving to the question, I would like to comment one thing about women, like gender discrimination. I didn't say I didn't suffer. Yeah, I said I wanted to mention the solution. I suffer so much because in the beginning, like let's say like British, German, Dutch, Spanish, Korean, Chinese, it didn't matter. What happened to me the most was when I presented something. The often I receive like, okay, I'm gonna put 1 million euros for the project, and also I want to put 1 million for you. Yeah, there's that often that happened to me. Yeah, and the solution that I gave you was something that I learned out from my experience. Yeah, do what you do, believe in what you do, and don't get hurt. Yeah, they don't know you. Yeah, they just they value you by appearance, but you don't have to get hurt. Yeah, do your thing. And the most of questions on the chat, I think for the foreign people in Barcelona, what you can do is find out what you do the best and what you like to do the most. The language you're gonna learn. Yeah, people they're gonna help. Here in Barcelona or in Spain, people are willing to help you. Yeah, language you need to go, like you need to overcome, you need to learn, but it takes time. But meanwhile, you can ask people, you can go to Barcelona Activa, or you can knock the door of Casa Asia. Yeah, but before this, you need to think about strategies about yourself. Yeah, thinking of what you do the best and what you like the most. Then after thinking what you do. Yeah, there's nothing in common. Like, okay, someone like one Korean wants to come over to Barcelona. First thing that you need to do is think what you do the best and what you like the most. Then after, you can contact me through LinkedIn, then I can give you help. Yeah, I can give you I can welcome you guys. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much, Mihi. Shreya, Ling, you want to comment on this too?
I wanted to go in the line of me as well.
Please also, if you have any advice for the audience, also do it, because we just have 3 minutes left.
It's just that perspective of the sector. You're in culture. Sorry.
Shreya, please.
Yeah, irrespective of the sector, whether culture, corporate, whatever sector it is, I think the one word that Mihi has been mentioning over and over again is the word passion. And I would like to add to that is focus, because you're coming from an outside world and you're coming from you're surely bringing in something different, something enriching for the city. But you got to be very sure about what you're bringing, and you got to be very focused about it. And that is where people will start taking you seriously, because what I have faced in the line of Mihi is a positive discrimination, which is not something I enjoy. Like when you call up somebody and it's a man's world, and the person will maybe ask you for a dinner, for a lunch, and you're thinking, why the hell do I have to go for a dinner and a lunch for this work? Why can't I get back straight to my work? So then you have to navigate. And then at a point, they take you seriously, like this person means business. So they start seeing over this layers of onions, like an onion layer. They start seeing beyond the layer and they see the underneath serious work. So once that is placed in place, I think whether you're man or woman, but especially for women, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, there's a question about seeking venture capital in Barcelona. No?
Yes,
maybe I can say something about it.
Of course.
Because in Barcelona, there is a very good ecosystem for startups and high-tech companies. However, there are hardly any high-tech company in Europe, while in US and China, there are plenty of land. And tech giants such as Alibaba or Tencent have a lot of money. And the Chinese also have a great desire for technology and progress. So if you are interested or you are going to dedicate in internet or new economy, maybe my recommendation is not to only focus in the US or Europe. You can also look at a little about China. And if you have the opportunity, you can go to study or live a while in China to see how companies like Alibaba or Tencent grow and develop. And or studying in some business school in China also help.
Thank you. And maybe the last, someone asked, many questions about the cultural difference for business. I think we answered also on discriminations, and I think we have half a minute. Many Asian professionals work in something related to Asia in Barcelona. Is there any other kinds of opportunities for Asian professionals? I think it's
I would say that Asians invest themselves abroad in what their expertise is in. Okay, so I would not like, for instance, if I am from the food sector, I would not jump into something, an IT world, which I have no idea about. Okay, I'll fall flat on my face. So talking about what Mihi said, basically, she talked about passion, and it's a combined role. I would say passion, risk taking, and at the same time, integrating into the society, and also being fearless, determined and fearless, being resilient in accepting challenges that come your way. That is also important.
Thank you. So everybody, just don't be scared and please start your business. You will get help, etc. Last question: where do you get tax advice here in Barcelona? And then that's it. Please rate us as a good activity. Can you tell us where to get tax advice? Oh, Michi, no?
Well, I couldn't tell the name of my lawyer. He's excellent, but there are some very good private lawyers who are very good at it, and some very bad at it as well.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, here regarding tax, I couldn't get any help from public associations, so I had to find out, private companies.
Okay, it's okay. We have good to very good rating. Thank you very much to everybody. Unfortunately, we have to leave it here. Thank you for attending from the audience. Thank you, Barcelona Activa, and also Copernic and we both organizations for organizing this. Thank you for your time. Please don't hesitate to contact everybody. Michi will help you to set your business. So, and you can contact all of us on LinkedIn, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I think it's finished because I was told that we are really on time here.
Okay.
On time.
No, I don't know what I have to do. Can we go on? Before, when you say the on time issue, I thought here we call on time to say that we are going to get late. And it was explaining about the time. You could.
So after this, what are they going to do? Set up a center?
We have a little more time. We didn't know.
Okay.
So I don't know. Do you want to comment, to have a last comment about what everybody said? We really had, or please give us more advices, because, for example, we got some really good advices here, like follow your passion, don't be scared, don't listen to what bad persons could tell you, etc. You will get help. Don't be scared about the language issue. Can you comment, make each of you a last comment maybe, and I will also check the last questions and we will finish.
I think I would like to start this round of last question again and say that this is something that I've personally faced a lot when I started working here. Is like generally when you send a mail here, many times you don't get a reply from people. And that sometimes it's a very cultural thing that sometimes might make you think that they're not interested in your work, and there you're making a big mistake, because it's just that the culture aspect of answering mail or just saying, hey, I'll get back to you in a week's time might not be existing for everyone. But once you get to meet them, you'll be shocked to see how interested the person is. But the person took 6 months to attend a single email or even attend a call. So these are personal throwbacks that can change your story from being successful to being unsuccessful. And you say, I give up. The person, they're not interested in my work. But it's not quite like that. So I think as an entrepreneur, especially coming from abroad, just being consistent and persistent is very, really important. And just get that one-to-one connection with that person. Just get that one-to-one meeting. Don't be afraid of that. Whether it's language issue, just get that one-to-one meeting, present your work, and you'll be surprised to see how somebody has been ignoring you for so long. Is so happy to see you. And another last important thing is the practicality of it. Meet a good lawyer. Very important. Meet a good lawyer. Check your status, your resident status, your work status, your abilities, or what you can do, how you can hire, how much tax you have to pay if you hire someone. That can ruin or make a company. That can ruin you if you may go wrong there. And this is really important, to set up the tax structure of your company before you launch it. And there, I think we should go deep into 2-3 lawyers, because we will be surprised to see very different answers from everyone. So this is definitely my take in this journey that I've been leading these past years.
Thank you very much. We have a question from Faith. Can you talk a little bit about the non-profit organization activities in Barcelona? Being an entrepreneur is not necessary for profit.
Yeah, well, I run a non-profit making organization, and it is fairly easy to start a non-profit making organization in Barcelona. Having said that, it is fairly easy, but one has to be very careful about the non-profit structure, how you're paying your taxes, how you're declaring your taxes, because they start really looking at with a very strong loop, because many things can happen under the name of non-profit making organization. Many wrong things have happened in the past. So fairly easy to establish a non-profit making organization. One has to be very careful about the tax returns, how you're declaring your taxes at the end of the day. One has to be very careful about how you're hiring people under non-profit making organizations. So the legal part of it is not a joke, but it's very easy to establish a non-profit making organization. And then you have to be an autonomous, you have to be an autonomo, what they call it here, a freelance, and declare your taxes even as a part of non-profit making organization. So basically you don't make profit for sure. So,
Thank you. Shoya.
Regarding NGO, non-profit organization, here in Barcelona, Ayuntamiento, City Council, they let you use their facilities. Yeah, but you need to prepare proposals, and I mean, you need to prepare documentations. Here, like in Barcelona or in Spain or in European Union, there are so many aid, but you need to research and you need to find the right party, yeah, right person on the to contact. But here you can get so much, you can obtain so much aid from the government level.
Yes, so someone also asked before, are there advantages of setting up an overseas branch of a business in Barcelona? It's someone from Hong Kong who lived in Hong Kong 7 years. He has a business registered in Hong Kong, and he wondered if you had any advice on where to get personal and business tax advice. Well, no, we already asked this, sorry.
That should be actually checked with the lawyer, with a good lawyer
Hello,
itself.
well,
Yeah.
Shreya said this before. Do you want a last comment? Do you have a last comment?
And maybe for entrepreneurs, and I think I mentioned before that the timing is very important, and you also have to think about your competitive advantage. It's also very important. What is your strength, and what do your client need? And now we are in Barcelona, in Spain. I have dedicated my time to identify and some opportunities now in Spain in relation to China. For example, in the agri-food industry, because Spain is very strong in this camp, and also Spain is very strong in sports. And I can relation these two areas to China, because in China we have a population of 1.4 billion, and maybe 20 or 30% are middle class. And these middle class people have a huge purchasing power, and they need to improve, and they need to have a better quality food and life and sport and the business. So I think there are many opportunities if you dedicate your time to look.
I would say that women, I would say that besides what Mihi, Shreya, and Shu said, okay, being an expertise in your field, being passionate, having the right attitude, resilient to challenges, facing challenges, and all that, we as women are very empathizing. This is an inborn thing within us. Okay, we sympathize with people. We get misled. Okay, so I would also say to women that don't be naive. There are times when you might be misled and you might not know about it, and you will fall flat on your face. But then rise up over there and keep your long-term goal in mind, because we can kick ass without apology or even hesitation if needed. That's about it.
Thank you. Bueno, Ling Ling, someone is asking for your WeChat account, but maybe it's in your LinkedIn account, or if you want, you can answer privately as you want. Okay.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Does anyone want to add a last comment, or it's okay? Because we were told until 2, until 3, and now we have more time. So it's a bit of a strange situation. If you want to finish, we might finish. Yes, Michi.
Regarding the language barrier, my experience to share with the audience. I love to travel, but I lived in South Korea and I live in Spain, only two places, but I traveled a lot, when I traveled in English speaking countries, I'm not native, so when I pronounce something wrong, they tell me, I think they can put a little more effort to listen to me, to understand me, but normally they don't do. They just say right away, excuse me, like this, but in Spain it doesn't happen. They try to listen to you until they got it. So here, if you start, they're gonna help you. They are not gonna judge you in anything. They're gonna help you. They're gonna listen, and they're gonna try to understand you. Of course, I mean, there's a negative part. My Spanish, I mean, the learning speed is slower because my friends, they don't fix my grammar. Yeah, they listen, they try so much. Yeah, they try so hard to understand me, so they don't fix my grammar. But if you see the other way around, you don't have to be scared. You can try. Yeah, you can speak to people in the business, even in the business atmosphere. They're gonna listen to you if the content is right.
Yes, this is the slow way, because the fast way is Vaishali's method. You have to ask her.
Yeah, yeah. But what I wanted to say is, don't be scared. Yeah, if you find out your expertise, then other things you can get through it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And
yes,
thank you so much. Yeah.
Someone in the audience is saying that Mihi is so cute. Because I had this message, we should finish, we should end now. So I will just sum up quickly. Passion, don't be scared, you'll get help. Don't be scared about the language. There are differences, but sometimes being a woman and being from other countries, from Asia, can be an asset. And keep fighting. And let's help each other. Yes, Shreya?
Get a good
lawyer.
For business.
Get a good lawyer. Get a good lawyer. If you want, you can contact Shreya. She will give you her lawyer's contact. She said it was good. He was good. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Barcelona.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.